Good evening, Rush Nation. Welcome to the 5 Yard Rush NFL podcast. I'm your host, Hector from Everything, and I'm here. I always get him every time. I'm with the other one, Alex can't see the woods for the trees woods, and Pete Amelia, the off-season champ. How are we doing, boys?
Good. A lot more energized than last week. So, looking forward to this.
He's had more than 4 hours sleep, ladies and gents. Get ready for all Bears all the time.
That's just his Saturday night, living. It's just all Bears all the time.
It certainly is. Oh, you know him so well. So well. Have we had a good weekend? We watch any sports or anything like while we were...
Was there any on this week?
Yeah, darts was on, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Mate, Alex, you've ruined my algorithm. All I'm getting now is NWO heel turns from Luke Littler. I knew of him before it happened. All right. I was like, oh, it's that 16-year-old. He's, looks like he's 45. And, he's good at darts. And you send me one thing about Luke Littler having a heel turn, one video, and now every single thing I get is people commenting on it. My algorithm is such a fickle line that it could just fall off at any moment. I have to be incredibly careful it would turn out as to what I actually watch from people. So at least it wasn't AI. So there is that.
Well, that's good to know that I can have fun with that. So good luck this week.
It would just decimate, yeah.
It's going to be a new segment on the pod. Who can ruin Joel's TikTok algorithm more each week?
Yeah.
It takes so long to get back. I accidentally watched a funny dog video. And look, hear me out. I love it when dogs do stupid things. It genuinely tickles me. But do I want to see one every 3 things? No, absolutely not. Do I get one every 3? Yes. In fact, I'm going to do a live test on TikTok now and just see what the hell happens. Something about Heineken, advert, Mario Kart, most of Stranger Things theories at the moment. There we go.
Yeah,
no funny dogs.
Mine's swamped with Stranger Things theories.
Well, there could be another episode tomorrow, apparently, according to internet sleuths everywhere.
Yeah.
I liked the finale. No spoilers here, obviously, if anybody hasn't seen it. I thought it was good. The wife cried for an hour straight.
We need to have an off pod where we can have a spoilerific conversation about
the ending. Just spoil everything, like The Sixth Sense and Titanic and the end of Stranger Things, and just all of the spoilers. All right, let's do it. Should we start with some news?
I guess.
Yes, sir. News from the underground.
That's news from the underground. So it's regular Tuesday. There is no special name for today. No color associated with it. However, yesterday was a particularly dark, some say black Monday. And I think I've managed to list everybody who got fired. Happy to see that we all made the cut. Well done, everyone. This is the first Black Monday we've survived as an NFL podcast, unless Murph calls me halfway through this. It's like
power play.
It's like you're too popular. Nobody needs any fancy advice now because it's over, and we're still trucking on. I don't know if the Thursday show still goes, but here we go. Are we the flagship? Who knows? Anyway, a bunch of people got fired. I wrote this list. I think a couple of them might have been added to it, but I'm just going to go through it. I guess we'll probably end up chatting with it around about here and there. I think the most recent one that I saw, which kind of started off the list for me, was Eberflus got fired from the Cowboys, defensive coordinator over there. Kevin Stefanski, to the shock of no one, got fired. The Cardinals head coach, Jonathan Gannon, didn't realize his first name was Jonathan. Just learned that. I just thought it was Gannon, like the Zelda villain. Raiders head coach Pete Carroll, what you doing, Vegas? The Falcons head coach Raheem Morris, who, you know what? I didn't hear his name once. I just heard him referred to as Falcons head coach. I I did like somebody chucked up a TikTok that reversed the nameplate being screwed on to his door, so it looked like somebody was like, "Yep, that's it. See you later," and taking that away. So that was fun. Washington OC Cliff Kingsbury. Oh, I didn't see that. And DC Joe Witt Jr. both gone. Joe. Oh wait, no. And then what else we got? Bucks head coach TBC.
Yeah, there's.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. He's having a meeting with the Glazer family later this week. So I know there's been a bit of suspicion. He's come out and defended himself and said, "I've had 3 division titles in a row. It's gone downhill a bit this year, but I think I've earned a chance to sort it out." I was like, "Well, it's gone downhill this year because Liam Cohen left." There's look how well the Jags have done. So there's a very obvious reason there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Because with the Bucks, Cohen wanted the head coach role. He was like, "Yeah, Todd's done it. Like, I've got a head coach offer here. I'd like to stay here and like build up what more we've got. I've got great rapport with the guys. I've done that. Is there anything we can do?" And the Bucks went, "No."
With the finger guns and everything. Gosh, ice cold in Tampa, ironically.
Yeah, because Cody got the offer, didn't he? He got the offer from the Jags last season. He said he was going to take it. Then the Bucks offered him a bit more money to stay. It wasn't a promotion; it was just more money to stay as the OC for 1 more year. So he turned down the Jags, and then they phoned him last minute and went, all the money. So he just kind of flipped back round, went back, and without telling the Bucks, accepted the job with the Jags. That was the beginning of last season. So nobody at the Bucks knew what was going on. They thought he'd decided to stay and was accepting their offer. Next thing they knew, he's been announced as the Jags head coach. And they're like, what? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going on there.
Yeah, there's a couple of stories to come out of this. I'm gonna start the Raiders because we're gonna end up talking a lot about the Raiders, I think, in the off season because obviously the number 1 pick and everything. Now they need a new head coach. Tom Brady's there, blah blah blah. Their owner has the worst haircut in sports. Why did they bother bringing Pete Carroll on for a year? Did they think that he was going to move the needle that much when the rest of the division is clearly pretty stacked?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "I know what I'll do. I'll bring in Geno Smith." So I just don't know what they were expecting. I don't know if it was just a come on board for a year, just tank for us.
Just a nice retirement present.
Little hello to Brody Loves Editing. I hope you enjoy the podcast just as much as you enjoy editing stuff, because we don't have an editor, so maybe we need one. Who knows? Yeah, I'd have been cut immediately. Thoughts, because you do know a lot more about coaches and stuff than I do. The Pete Carroll thing just throws me.
I think, there's a lot on this. The Raiders do love hiring and firing coaches, don't they? They are, for anyone that doesn't know, they are currently paying 5 former head coaches $50 million next year to not coach for them. And that doesn't include Pete. That was before Pete Carroll got fired. So I bet he's still on contract for next year as well and getting a few more buns to add to that. And you would think if they weren't paying all of these head coaches, maybe Davis could afford a decent haircut or to not live in a camper van. Because he lives in a SUV, doesn't he? Despite being
it's probably like vagabond. I think he cuts his own hair as well. So that's how you get rich, people.
Or even better,
live in a car, cut your own hair.
He's got a specific hairdresser that he flies something like 200 miles to come and do that haircut for him. It's wild. It's like, I really like this. And there's only one person that can do it this bad. He's my guy. But yeah, the Pete Carroll thing is weird, isn't it? Like, him and Geno looked really good 2 years ago. It's still a wild stat to me that the single season passing yard leader for Seahawks in all of their history is Geno Smith from 23. So that was that thought that Pete Carroll knows what he's talking about. He's a good culture guy. He can help instill some culture in these teams. And if Geno's there as a passable quarterback with him, we can maybe do something. it seems sketchy at the time, given that Gino was awful last year. So yeah, I don't really get it. I didn't see the point at the time, even with Gino. It always felt like a stopgap. But I completely see why you'd have to get rid of Carroll now if you're getting a rookie QB, a 97-year-old.
Assume Mendoza's going.
Yeah, although I did see one of the other quarterbacks. There was talk about him. I think it was his coach. His manager said to him, "Speak to the Raiders and see if there's a chance they'll take you first. If that's a possibility, then you declare for this year. If it's not, go back to the college. Otherwise, you'll end up being drafted by the Jets."
Yeah, 100% Jet.
Dante Moore, isn't it?
That's the one. Yes. Yeah. So that was an interesting take. So yeah, there's going to be a head coach. What I find really fascinating about this and all of this cycle. Well, I'll come to that. Have you got any kind of other thoughts on Seahawks, Alex?
Right.
You say
No,
Seahawks?
Raiders.
It's
Raiders. The Las Vegas Seahawks.
The only one that I've seen is the only added thing that I've seen is that the absolute mad rumor that Tom Brady is going to take over as head coach and he's going to specifically take Arch Manning at number 1.
This is just like some kind of revenge plot. Like, I've never liked you, Peyton. Now I have your boy. Like,
He's going to go full damned United and just ruin his child. That'd be great. That would be great.
Oh dear. I want it.
Yeah, they're most likely going to select Mendoza. He's not elite in anything. He holds on to the ball too long in the pocket.
He's a nice boy, though.
He's a really good camera QB. Like, he does and says all the right things on camera that a quarterback should say.
Yeah,
he does absolutely all of that. But he holds on to the ball too long in the pocket, even in college. And you need to throw it 10 times quicker in the NFL. He doesn't have elite arm strength. He doesn't have elite athleticism. And he's not super tall and super massive. So
he also doesn't have any weapons if he's on the Raiders. So that could be a bit of an issue as well. I'm just going to jump off that. I'm sure we'll talk a bunch of the Raiders about this. The other one that I really wanted to talk about is Kevin Stefanski. Everybody wanted him fired at the Browns. Why am I reading, and I quote, former Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is expected to speak with the Falcons, the Giants, and the Titans about head coach vacancy. Look, 3 bad teams, fine. But what?
I see a couple of things about this. One, there aren't a ton of offensive-minded people want defensive-minded head coaches, and there aren't a ton that are screaming next step from offensive coordinator. There's Clint Kubiak, who I think he was interesting, inexperienced as an OC. 1 season with the Saints, 1 season with the Seahawks, but obviously he's got those good bloodlines with his dad Gary Kubiak, who won 4 Super Bowls as an assistant and as a head coach as well. So he might get a chance there. So it's lack of options, but Stefanski has been good. His roster, certainly offensively, and he's an offensive-minded head coach, is not good. If you look at his quarter, he got them to the playoffs, won a playoff game with the Browns, which should be enough to put him in the Hall of Fame. And his quarterback, I think
there's a statue of him, at least.
Yeah, at least. Name the stadium after him. The Stefanski Award for not being rubbish. There's that side of things, but also look at his quarterback room. He's got a head coach, he had Deshaun Watson, who had taken a year off, had clearly checked out, was too tense because he couldn't go and see the masseuse. So he never was loose enough to play football.
Good.
Flacco looked good, but then he looked hit and miss, which is what Flacco does. And then you've got Dylan Gable and Shador Sanders. So I don't think he's had the best options around him. And I think he does deserve a chance with a better team and a better quarterback. Is my opinion.
I'm just going to read the list again: Falcons, Titans, Giants.
Well, both of those, two of those teams think they've got their quarterback. So the Giants think Jackson Dart's the answer, and the Titans definitely are 100% sure that Cam Ward is the answer. And I agree with them. I think he's an absolute stud.
Yeah, so that's the interesting ones. I think Jackson Dart, if you think about what those weapons are there, if you think Dart can do it, you've got Captain Concussion coming back at running back.
Yeah.
You've got Malik Neighbors, Wandale Robinson. You've got weapons in New York.
Look, I'm going to be weirdly on a Giants tear next year. Okay, I'm warning you now that before the season even starts, I am already excited. I'm ready to hang up being a Saints fan because just Scatterboo and Dart, man, just they make me smile, and that's cool. So yeah, he's got a lot of stuff in there, and it was kind of joking aside. It was fine. They've got, I mean, two of them have got their QB, but there's still a lot of work to be done at the Titans. There's loads of work to be done at the Falcons. I think the Giants. I genuinely think the Giants have it all. So I think my money would be, if I wanted a job of those three, it would be the Giants.
Is there a lot to do at the Falcons though? Because if they hadn't lost to the Jets, they would have made the playoffs.
Well, they lost to the Jets, Alex, which answers your question immediately. There's nothing wrong with the Falcons. If they were better than the Jets, then they would be in the playoffs. Gosh, yeah, sure, a lot of teams would be.
The Jets beat 3 teams, okay? It wasn't just the Falcons.
Was it the Falcons twice? Oh, bless him.
Yeah. I guess, in the Falcons, you've got the 2 new defensive ends who looked really good with that trade, but they don't have a first-round pick, but they do have Ashton Janty. They do have Kyle Pitts. Darnell Moon is a solid wide receiver too. So they've got...
Janty's at the Raiders.
Do you mean Bijan Robinson?
Who did I say? Ashton Janty? Yes, I did mean Bijan.
Yeah, you did.
Janty. Yeah. Yeah, so we've got Bijan, Pitts, Drake London, Mooney. They've got weapons there, and they've invested on the defensive end. If they think, and he thinks, that he can get a tune out of Michael Penix, then there is potential there. Because Raheem Morris, he was a DC, wasn't he, before he went there? So if he thinks he can get something, and he prefers a pocket passer, so if he can get something out of Penix, then it's not a difficult thing to succeed in.
Morris was fired.
That's what I mean. So somebody
offensive,
more offensive minded could do something more with that. And a win away from the playoffs, like you said. So
it's the NFC South win away from the playoffs, though. So I wouldn't put a lot of stake in that. I just want to. I don't know if you ever read the descriptions of our show, but I put it's a wonderful time of the year, player football, the chance to focus on the best of the best and whoever won the NFC South. That's the description for today's podcast. And I like all the teams in the NFC South. I'm even close enough to think, fine, go for it, the Falcons. But man, I just the QB thing, that does worry me over there. I hate Kirk Cousins anyway, and I think he's essentially a statue at this point. I didn't mind Penix. I thought that he was going to be better than what he ended up being, but is that as soon as he leaves the Falcons and somebody picks him up, he's going to go and have a crazy playoff run somewhere kind of situation? Are the Falcons just the Jets in red? Who knows?
Well, they're the only team to have not made the playoffs in the 2020s.
Incredible.
The only NFC team, sorry. The only NFC team to not make the playoffs in the 2020s.
Fair enough. I did see the other day that it's the first time the Panthers have won the division since 2015 when they went to the Super Bowl with Cam. And that threw me completely because once upon a time, nobody went back to back in the NFC South. And that wasn't they were all terrible. It was they were all good. And I think the Panthers were one of the first ones in a long time to have like back to back NFC South titles. And then that's it. Since in the past 10 years, they've not done it up until now because of weird reasons.
Well, yeah, because the next year was the MVP year for Matt Ryan, was it? Did he get MVP?
Yeah, you got
and then the
MVP,
year after that, you had Drew Brees and stuff. So yeah, it has gone from being best to worse. But I guess that's going to happen. That's the cycle of the draft order.
Hey, I used to call the Cowboys division the AFC least. It's, and now look at them. Like there's at least 2 good teams in there.
Yeah. On the coach front as well, I thought there's a really interesting one as well as Eberflus.
Yeah.
So he's let's ex-Bears coaches. Eberflus got fired by the Cowboys. He was a really, really good defensive coordinator at Indianapolis. Then he went to Chicago, looked awful, but then when he got a decent defensive end, when he signed Montez Sweat, that defense went really, really good. Led the league in interceptions, looked really positive. Went to the Cowboys, and they did the opposite. They went, "Oh, you've got this really good defensive end. Bye-bye." Shipped off Micah Parsons, and it was talent poor. I don't think he improved them, but I think he's one of those, a bit like, don't mistake this for a sign of his quality as a coach, a bit like Guardiola. In Guardiola's system in football won't work with bad players. He says it himself. I need good players to execute what I'm trying to do. And I think Flus needs quality players to execute the type of defense he wants to do. And if he doesn't have that, just falls off a cliff. It looked good when he had good players in Chicago. Certainly that first season before he lost the room. It looked really good when he was at Indianapolis. He's not got those players in Dallas, and they look awful. And they did improve as the season went. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him, because that'd be quite a fall from grace to go from head coach, DC, out of the league. I think he'll get a job somewhere, even if it's just as like a defensive backs coach, just to rebuild it. But the other one is Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's got an interview with the Titans. And this is weird. So he got the Bears job off the back of what he'd done in Kansas as offensive coordinator, been really good. Came in, he got coach of the year his first year as head coach of Chicago. So he showed quality with Trubisky, and it was that great team with the fantastic defense. And then it was awful after that. It was just rubbish. Went back to the Chiefs, and he's managed to make the Chiefs offense look crap for 3 years. They've just not been good. They flashed early this season. I think about midway through the season, Mahomes was a fancy QB1. So I think that's probably why he's getting those interviews again. But he's got Patrick Mahomes, he's got Travis Kelce, and there's a lot of receivers that have done it in the past as well. He's got Hollywood, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy's got potential if he's used correctly. He's got Juju, Dynasty overall pick 1 at one point. And he's had D-Hop in there as well, and OBJ, I think, as well. So he's had maybe past their prime, maybe not elite, but good enough weapons and depth to do something interesting. And he hasn't. They've been carried by the defense for a couple of years. So I think if he gets the job, it will be an unmitigated disaster.
I like that's the cap that you put on it all. Like, I thought that was building to something, and then you're like, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Look out, people.
He's had more than most and done the least.
And you're saying that he's up for the Titan job, is he?
Yeah. So the GM at the Titans has also was it another one of the Chiefs coaches? I can't remember who it was, but he's got links with the Chiefs. So I think he's going after a couple of their coaches just because it's that better the devil you know.
So, yeah, fair enough.
The one that can we circle back very quickly to the Washington offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury? Because this is the one that I'm like, oh, okay. Why? Why have you done this? Because we've talked all season about the fact that they've been massively injured and they are crippled. And last year, when they had all of their weapons and they had Jaden Daniels for 12 games, they made the playoffs.
They made the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, they're the darling team. They were awesome. They were incredible. And this year, they haven't had Scary Terry. They haven't had any running back that can actually officially run the ball. They haven't had a quarterback that can throw without going, oh my God, I feel the bones in my elbow creaking as I'm doing this. I don't understand it. Cliff has got a really good relationship with Jaden Daniels. It's very public, their relationship.
Can I just give you a quote, unquote? NFL insider Josina Anderson, or Hosina Anderson, sorry about that, said it was simply a matter of differing visions for the future of the offense. And Daniels, quote, my understanding is that Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury discussed a long-term vision for the offense and Jane Daniels and did not see eye to eye.
Cliff Kingsbury's an interesting one because he was good at he was a good college head coach, but he came in as head coach for the Cardinals. They looked really good, but he's got a very one-dimensional offense. It's super high rate of play, plenty of play action, but it's quite a simple scheme, and it's just pace, explosive plays, and going that way, and it gets found out quickly. They offensively looked really, really good. I think that first year that he was with, I remember at the start of the time, it's a couple of years ago now, but I think the games where Kyler Murray played the full game that first year, he was a fantasy top 10 quarterback in every single game. Gotcha. Because it was just high volume explosive plays. And like last year, the thing with Jaden Daniels was he looks great, but he's only showing him one side of the field. It was just give it onto this side of the field and simplify it. But it's also easy to defend once you figure that out.
Both times that you've mentioned there, so obviously the first year in Arizona, they also had a top 5 defense. And last year in Washington, they were also a top 10 defense. So it again, you are correct that it is very one-dimensional, but it expects both sides of the ball to do their job. And if you're doing your job with pace, you're having your slot guy being an absolute speedster and running 4.2, 4.4s, you're having your main first receiver actually able to catch any ball in the world, which Scary Terry can do on his day, you are going to be successful no matter who your QB is. But I think this one is rash. I really do. I don't know. He will get a head coaching interview this year. In my opinion, he will. There is not a lot of offensive-minded head coaches out there, as we've already discussed, and he is a very good offensive-minded. At the very least, he will. I could see him quite easily going back to college.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of turnover in college coaches, hasn't there? It would be interesting. The obvious landing spot to me, given the relative success he's had with quarterbacks recently, is New York. Because Kyler, very mobile, and has looked worse since he left. Jaden Daniels, very mobile. Partnering with Jackson Dart, he should be able, even if it ends up being a one-year hire where they don't win, where he develops Jackson Dart as a QB, and it might be a one and done, and then somebody comes in, but Dart has had the development that's needed to take them to the next level. Because the defense is great. The defense is very, very good in New York. So, it's on paper, it is anyway with good coaching.
What would be a good idea for the Giants is to have him as a one-and-done head coach and have an offensive coordinator behind him that he knows can take that next level after 1 year. So, mold an offensive coordinator around training Dart and around that offense that is very young, very rash, very this, and needs controlling and niching down a tunnel. And then going, right, I've done my job. I'll step away now because we finished 4-12, 4-13, and we're garbage. But we were really fun to watch this year. and then the OC is going to take over. He's a young upcoming man that understands my offense and understands my vision, and this is the way we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. I don't think they will, because generally the Giants are just thinking of big things, are historically quite savvy. They don't always make the right move, but even Daboll took a while. I think they're probably I might end up going for someone like Joe Brady. I think Joe Brady probably makes that move and follows Daboll from Buffalo to New York. It's an easy commute as well, so they can get him in for interviews quite quickly.
Commute.
Yeah. So yeah, could be quite interesting. This is going to be really interesting, actually.
I think that's all of the news so far. I think it's been pretty dominated by that. So let's nip over to a little Bangerz and Trash, I think.
Totally original, legal and distinct Bangerz and Trash audio. Back to you in the studio.
I totally forgot that was still the audio. So I got myself there this time. Let's start with a couple of, well, at least my favorite social media posts. Jump scare for anybody at home. Bam! The ghost of Michael Jackson has returned to be on the podium for the Colts. God bless her. She, that's the other one. I'm all over the place.
Just cycling through and spoiling everything.
Yeah, here we go.
Also, did he just kick Pete away as well? Just for that? No,
it did. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to do this so it didn't cover up Pete, and in the end, I just took him out completely. So I watched this little snippet of press interview, and I think she was trying to come across as a human being by saying, "Oh, I'm pissed." Clearly, her scriptwriter has been swear here, and she was like, "That's the thing that I've got going on." But yeah, God bless. You sent me that jump scare in the group chat, and I felt like I had to start with that one. So anyway, we'll go back to Bangerz. Wait, no, she didn't go away. But yeah, I'm just gonna straight up start with a banger. I had it in the news, but Myles Garrett, 5-Yard Rush podcast MVP. In fact, we should do an MVP award around about the same time they do. Somebody write that down in the notes. We talk about him all the time. I was really hoping that he'd do it in 17 games because, good God, all you see is people going, it took him 18 games. And then you get people going, well, he did it in 120 less snaps than JJ Watt and this and all that. And even I've put the odd comment on, but should we stop when the records stop? When it's a 10-game season? When it's a 17-game season? When we get to 20 games and somebody breaks Myles Garrett's record, are we going, oh, yeah, well, he did it in 18. So shut up. He sacked more people in the allotted time he was given. Next year, every other player has the opportunity, has 18 games to do what he did. You know what? This year, every other player had the opportunity to do what he did. And they didn't. So I don't care that it was 18 games. The fact of the matter is that Myles Garrett should be MVP of the season. I think above and beyond all of the white quarterbacks that are inevitably going to get the votes, Myles Garrett is the epitome of most valuable player on a team.
Yeah, I would certainly agree for best player. And I think that's the weird thing, isn't it, about most valuable player v best player, because he played defensive end as good, if not better, than Drake May played quarterback. But they've got a top 5 pick. So in terms of value, it's a weird one, isn't it? But I agree with you. He is the best player. It's weird that he only just beat it as well, given the pace he was on for those first 12, 13 weeks when we thought he might beat this by 3 or 4 sacks. And then last week, the Steelers lost to the Browns purely because all Aaron Rodgers was bothered about was, I will not be posterized by Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Everything will be, yeah, I will be rubbish and we will lose and miss the playoffs, but I'm not being on that poster. I'll ground it whenever I can so he doesn't get that stack on me. And then obviously Joe Burrow got it as well. instead.
I've just seen that you corrected me as well. It was 17 games, 18 weeks. I don't care. I'm hoping that this just gets enough engagement and rage bait on TikTok that people are like, it was 17 games, actually, Joel.
I don't know who'd write something like that.
Stop typing.
The really funny thing was that Fox actually got Michael Strahan in the studio.
Yeah. I saw him, yeah.
That's the original sack leader, Michael Strahan, was in the studio for Miles Garrett breaking the record. And he went, well, I'm still the 16-game leader.
So when Miles does it in 16, honestly, I could see him doing it in 16 games next year, equaling the record, just to be like, shut up. I've done it now. Last year, fine. I'll do it again and again and again. It just keeps taking it down until he inevitably gets 26 sacks in 3 weeks or something insane like that. And it's like, when will be enough for you people?
I saw a stat this week. I think it was Caleb Williams was sacked 7 times this year. Jay Cutler once. He threw 7 ignore me. I'll come to that later. It's completely irrelevant. It's interceptions, not sacks. I've had a pig's ear of that. We need Brody, who loves editing, to come and cut that out.
Yeah, bro, it's way back, mate. Come on. We need live editing. I'm going to go to I'm just going to stick with stuff like social media things. There she is again. Banger. Whoever made this. Also, you're a trash human being because I hate it. It's great, but it's not the North, is it? He's not my king. I didn't vote for him. Oh, God bless him.
I really wish I still had my pool noodle in here because I'd be doing the King of the North thing from season 6, King of the North, King of the North. But no, Aaron Rodgers, everybody. That's what Jets fans should have got last year.
Yep, got in on a missed field goal. Well done, Aaron Rodgers. You are the de facto king of the North. Not both Norths, your North, and not my North, and not the North Pole, not the north of Winterfell, just whatever that may be. Can we talk about poor Tyler Loop? Alex's MVP. Gosh, what a shame, eh?
I mean, I think I put that final quarter of that game in as my banger of the week because that final Ravens Steelers quarter. Oh, don't bother watching the rest of the highlights. Pretty boring. A couple of angry runs. They've got an absolute host of angry runs to hand that scepter out this week from that game because there was loads of them. Derrick Henry, Kenneth Gainwell, really, really good one from Jaylen Warren. But it was defense. And then suddenly that fourth quarter hit 27 points in the fourth quarter. And the tension came because Boswell missed a PAT. So it became a 2-point game. Is that right? Well, all the Ravens have to do is march down the field, get into field goal range, and they win the game. Piece of cake. And they got really good field goal range, 34 yards. And then Loop, it was just awful. It was awful. 4?
It was 44 yards, wasn't it?
44. Sorry, yeah, it was a 34-yard line, but obviously it's 10 yards back. Yeah, sorry. 44 yards, which he can make in his sleep normally, but that was Boswell. I know it was windy. Boswell's just went, it looked like it was a 99p penny float or whatever you call them around your way for those cheap plastic footballs you'd get that you can't kick them in a straight line to save your life. But Tyler Loops was always missing. It was like he was trying to kick it into the wind, but in the wrong direction. It was just rubbish. And yeah, you could see it crushed him at the end. Absolutely crushed him.
Yeah. The end of that game, I think, I'm just having a look to see who scored it, but the Zay Flowers touchdown. I've never been more British watching that because I was watching the 40-minute highlights. I watched every snap. Boring. And then it got to that, and I literally went, golly. I don't even say golly. But somehow Zay Flowers turned me British at that point. And then Calvin Austin was a crikey. Is that Australian? Is that British? Who knows? But yeah, like I thought that was it. Like when the Ravens got that final score, I thought, wow, I did not expect this at all. I thought that the Steelers had it done. Anyway, Baltimore gets the score, and then Calvin Austin at the end also then gets the score, and you're like, Jesus, like it threw me.
Yeah,
I was going to say it threw me through a loop, but that would be insensitive to say, wouldn't it?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
And the best is that they threw that absolute bomb. Lamar threw that absolute bomb to Zay Flowers, and then we said, that was the only good thing we've done this game. Let's do it again. And the Steelers went, they'll never do it again. Oh.
I saw the telestrator of that, and it showed the Madden view behind them all, and then there was just this massive square that was like, this is the zone that they've left open for him. It's ridiculous.
It's like the Colts this week. I don't know. We're not going to talk about the Colts very much, obviously, apart from the Michael Jackson. Oh, Jesus. She keeps appearing. But they ran 2 fake punts. I don't know if you saw that. They were back-to-back fake punts. They were 4th down, and they were meant to punt it, and then didn't punt it. They ran a fake punt, converted, and then kept everybody out. And the Texans were like, "What's going on? What are we doing? What's going on?" And then they ran the same play, the exact same play. And then they were like, "Oh, I see. Well done, boys. Well done." But the Ravens should have won that game, and I'm upset they didn't.
Yeah. I'm not, and I much prefer Lamar to Pittsburgh, but with the quality they've got and the expectations set for the Ravens, they've really, really disappointed this year. They've not deserved to be a playoff team. I don't think the Steelers have necessarily, but they've outperformed expectations. I mean, people expect them to just go 9-8 every single year because that's what they do. But even still, that quality, apart from the O-line, is nowhere near as good as the Ravens team. So I think they perform better and therefore should make it through.
I'm pleased for different reasons. Hear me out. I think if the Steelers didn't make the playoffs, I would have to suffer through another season of Aaron Rodgers. So I think that this way he's made the playoffs, so therefore he can have that like little playoff run, and then he has more incentive to retire.
Yeah,
and that's okay, because unless one of you two ruined my algorithm by sending me Aaron Rodgers clips of him on whatever stupid Colin Cowherd podcast he may show up on, I can get away from him in that way. And just on your point of the Ravens, not deserving it because they played like trash. It should have been such an amazing comeback where it's like, oh my God, they've been terrible for so long. Now Lamar is back. Let's see if they can like hammer their way into the playoffs, which they nearly did. But at no point throughout the whole thing did it ever feel like, oh, good for them. They have overcome. They just kind of stumbled their way into a potential. Even the Browns tweeting out last week saying, "We didn't do this for you." Like, if the Browns hadn't won last week, this week wouldn't have been as interesting, I guess, as it was. So yeah,
you are 100% right. The game that we thought we were going to get was the second half of the Lamar poop game. Don't know if you remember this, where Lamar Jackson really needed the loo, and then came back out and threw for like 3 touchdowns and ran for 150 yards in the second half against
he was lighter.
the Browns. Yeah, he was. It was unreal. But the one person we should talk about is unfortunately Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers has had a really good season. He has had a really good season. And he did get asked at the end of the game, and I forget her name, so I apologize if you are listening, famous reporter that I just don't know.
She's not there.
I'm so upset, but she's the same reporter that got blanked by Justin Herbert, if we remember a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, Justin Herbert just walks away from her. She's the same one. She does ask Aaron Rodgers whether he will be retiring, and Aaron Rodgers just gives her the same almighty Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca death stat.
I mean,
Doesn't even ask the question, just walks off. Just as like, and then leaves. It is the greatest Aaron Rodgers thing in the world, and he actually performed better this season than 2019 Brady did for the Bucks. And those guys, I think, won the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I think they did. I'm not entirely sure.
No, he'll be insufferable if he wins the Super Bowl, Alex.
He's already insufferable. He can't get more insufferable. He
fair
is
enough.
the most obnoxious person, but he does have the talent to back it up, which makes it so frustrating. Yeah. If he loses, do you know, like when the Super Bowl comes on, you can do those crazy bets, like, oh, you can bet on what colour Gatorade is going to be that's going to get poured over the head coach. Can we get odds that next week, if they lose, it's because someone on his team took a vaccine? I bet it is.
Oh,
it won't be his fault. It'll be because defensive end just got the flu vaccine because it's winter. And he's like, right, well, that's why we lost. He couldn't think straight in 3 knees.
So it's the fact that TJ Watt went to a traditional doctor and was not 100%. Thus, the defense wasn't amazing because obviously TJ Watt is recovering from a punctured lung by his own team doctor, as we reported a couple of weeks ago, and everybody knows. But he should be back for Wildcard Weekend. Because he went to a traditional doctor and got actual treatment and rested actually, they would have had a better playoff seed if TJ Watt had been there. Thus, they wouldn't have played this team. Thus, they wouldn't have lost. Yeah, that's a complete Aaron Rodgers.
Not a crystal in sight.
Eileen Drury. Now, that's an obscure reference that I don't know if any of you all get.
I must admit, I missed it because I was focusing on Joel's crystal talk, and I was about to be like, what colour crystal would Aaron Rodgers wear around his chest on a day-to-day basis? And I'm thinking it's probably a mixture of obsidian and quartz.
Cloudy white. Made of his own breast milk.
Yeah, don't like that. What was your obscure reference, Peter?
I think the reason the Steelers lost is because JJ Watt didn't go to see Eileen Drury.
Who was Eileen Drury?
She was the weird faith healer that Glenn Hoddle brought in at the 98.
Oh, okay. Wow. Gosh, yeah, that is pretty niche.
Yeah, that's probably before you were born, Alex.
Yeah.
Sorry, Glenn Hoddle was...
I know who Glenn Hoddle is. Like, the dude had a heart attack in a live TV studio. That's who Glenn Hoddle is, man. That guy's
not the Glenn Hoddle we remember, Alex. We remember him for far more.
That guy's great. I really like Glenn Hoddle. Anyway, sorry, I derailed your thing. Apologies about Glenn Hoddle, random things.
Let's bring it up. Pete, give us Alex, give us a banger.
Can we just take we've already done it, but can we just have a round of applause for the playoff teams apart from the Panthers?
Yes, we can. Also, I just when this came up in our group chat that Pete sent us, I genuinely spit out my tea. For those of you on audio only, the caption from Pete was the Panthers in the playoffs with everybody else, and it's a picture of E.T. hiding with all of the stuffed toys. And I love it so very much because at first at a glance I was like, oh, this is just a bunch of, oh no, wait, there he is. I see it now. It's beautiful. I love it so very, very much. So yeah, there you go. Wild movie reference of the day for you, Pete.
It's absolutely fine because the Panthers will be phoning home next week, so it's okay.
Oh, there we go.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. I'm just gonna segue into how right I was about the Panthers making the playoffs. I will not shut up about this. There's an entire off season. If they win one playoff game, you could consider me the insufferable Aaron Rodgers of this podcast. Because, good God, People thought I was mad. Children on the street spat at me. Dogs barked when I walked by for daring to say that the Carolina Panthers have a sneaky chance at making the playoffs. They did have a sneaky chance at making the playoffs. They snuck all the way into the top of the NFC South and are playoff contenders. They're just the same as everybody else. Fine, they've got a lower seed, but that's not the point because they also have a home field advantage.
Yeah.
They
Spoiler: they won't win a game.
no, because
At home against the LA Rams.
so would you like some absolutely cool Panthers, Carolina Panthers stats? I forgot where they were from.
Would I?
Would you like some Panther stats that makes Joel's pick even more absolutely unbelievable and gives him a bigger head in this podcast?
Gee, would I?
So the Panthers this season have been outscored by 69 points.
Nice.
Giggity.
They have lost. They've lost to the Saints twice. Their last win by more than 3 points was October
What year?
this year. This year. Their last win by more than 7 points was in September, and their last win as a favourite was in September 2001.
No.
2000 what? 2021, you mean?
No, that's the one. Sorry, 2021.
Okay. Still, that's a good few years.
2021.
Wow.
2001. What a time.
But they're a playoff team, everybody. Come on.
They sure are. Boy, do I love the NFC South. You cannot tell. Everyone complains that, whoever wins the NFC South just gets a playoff spot. You're damn right they do. Just a bunch of idiots bumping into each other. And eventually one of them rises to the top. In this case, 3 of them had the exact same record, and we had to get calculators out to be like, okay, you beat you, but you beat you, but you beat you twice. So that's it.
So the question is now there are 2 questions kind of. One is the Bryce Young argument or experiment doing well?
I think so. I like him because he's the type of quarterback I enjoy watching. So I'm a little bit biased for that. I think they've got the 5th-year option on him, so you may as well take that before you do anything else. You're not drafting high enough to replace him. There's nobody that I can really think of veteran-wise that's ready to step into that role. So I would continue the experiment and then use the draft to kind of build around him, or at least build enough pieces for your next quarterback that you're thinking after this one Bryce Young season.
Well, I believe they've said they're picking up the 5th-year option.
Good. You should.
Yeah, they should. It's a good question to ask because he's played well, but he is still too short, in my opinion, to be a starting NFL quarterback. Even when he plays well, it caps his upside, and I don't see him being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They need a Eagles-type team around him to elevate him. But you can't move on from him. You just can't, not at this point, not with the capital they gave up. They've built a Super Bowl winning roster in Chicago for the draft capital they gave up for Bryce Young. Yeah. So you really, really have to give it everything. You have to commit to the bit at this point.
Yeah, I was just checking. I didn't realize he was 5'10". I knew that people were calling him not very tall, but as a 6'2" gentleman, what is very tall? It's a podcast. No one knows. So
if you're standing on a stool to get to your desk,
that's not a stand-up desk.
Fine, I'll do the rest from here.
That's a regular stall seat, by the way, everybody. That's not like one of the bar stall seats that you get at a breakfast bar.
I'm set up like Lord of the Rings here. You've seen the perception with Gandalf and everything. And I am stood on a stool, Alex. More kneeling than standing. Just one leg. There we go. But yeah, so I didn't realize he was 5'10", which, yeah, I guess not particularly tall, but like there are taller quarterbacks than him not in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's still like, I think Caleb had the record for the most batted passes this year, and Bryce Young wasn't top 3, so he's obviously doing something right. He's making it work. He's not getting a ton of batted passes, but it should limit his ability to play from the pocket because of restricted view, because he's got an absolute team of behemoths in front of him.
Yeah, well, hear me out. What you do is if you have I don't like to call him small because he's not small. If you have a QB of less than average QB height, shall we say, it is up to you as an institution to get a more than average height wide receiver and have the wingspan of an actual airplane like McMillan does. So I say that balances. Get another 2 of those. You don't have to worry about the height thing at all. Put some lifts in your shoes. I don't care.
Get Mo Alley Cox in from the Colts, the absolutely ginormous tight end.
Yeah. Can we get your man from the NBA? Wasn't it Wembanyama? Yeah. Grab him.
Also, just have a good running game as well, which they do.
They do. Yeah. The 2-headed dragon. Do they have a nickname?
No, and I don't want them to. Sneaky unpopular opinion, I hate running back duo nicknames. I think it's dumb.
Yeah, but then you get really cool trainers. You get cool trainers like Sonic and Knuckles or Cleats, where they have the.
That's not cool. That's really not cool. That's like,
like Thunder and Lightning or anything like that.
I went to go see that movie this week. I went to go see the Lightning and Thunder movie, which is called Sing Song Blue with Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson in it. And they were like, do you want to be Thunder after my lightning? And like everybody laughed at it, but like I had my head in my hands and I was like, oh my god, that's the worst thing in the world.
I've seen that trailer. I had no idea it was about Kamara and Ingram. I'll go watch it now.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Sneaky. Here's a movie thing with all of us. Go watch that movie. It's about a Phil Collins impression band, a Phil Collins impression experience. Go watch it. It's really good. It features a lot of. Sorry, why am I saying Phil Collins? It's not Phil Collins. It's the dude it's Neil Diamond.
That's become far less interesting.
Yeah, you just shot that down completely. We were right there.
I'm so sorry. It's Neil Diamond. My fiance literally just messaged me because she can hear me say it, and she's just messaged and said it's actually Neil Diamond. It's Sing Song Blue because she is a huge Neil Diamond fan, the biggest Neil Diamond fan of all time, and it was great. Go watch it. Do watch it. It was Hugh Jackman.
I would have if you hadn't have led with Phil Collins.
Exactly.
Yeah, apologies.
I was excited for a Phil Collins experience.
Both of them are the same thing.
I'm building a vinyl collection. My wife's contribution to it is every Phil Collins or Genesis album on vinyl.
Excellent.
Except for Tarzan soundtrack, which is a very glaring omission, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You should get on that.
But the Genesis single "I Can't Dance" is one of my favorites.
It's about
Jesus, He Knows Me, man. I'm not religious in the slightest, but what a bop Jesus, He Knows Me is. I remember that one as a kid, man. Invisible Touch, the whole of that album. Save it for the Phil Collins podcast.
That is a no-skip album, to be fair. That is like
It's Jagged Little Pill of the 80s, isn't it? Like that's or is it late 70s?
That's all I on Amazon.
Would you like to know what else was a no-skip thing?
Yeah, go
on. Jameis Winston's birthday was this week.
Beautiful. Nicely segued into a Jameis Winston. Pulling the pod back into football-related things. And we forgot to say on the 1st of January, happy birthday to Jameis Winston's horse. Because, interesting fact, all horses' birthdays are the 1st of January. Every single one you've ever met, everyone you will do, January 1st is every horse's birthday. So happy birthday to Jameis Winston's horse and to Jameis Winston. Did he get anything nice, Alex? Were you there? Did you send him a card?
I did. I sent him and Duval a card. It was
Duval the horse.
It was Duval. I got Duval a birthday gift as well. I got Duval a no, this does sound really weird. A horn so that it could become a unicorn.
Nice, yeah, and
Because-
I bet that they appreciate that a lot.
You like
Because
unicorns?
James Winston needed a unicorn, and yeah, that was that. But there were obviously all NFL programs did like top 5 James Winston moments of the year, all that lot. James Winston's Twitter feed is full of them. He retweeted all of them about himself.
Yes,
I'm shocked.
and I assume that we made one of those top 5 things, like top 5
We-
reactions to a Jameis Winston thing.
We did not. However, if a certain
No.
human being that loves editing wants to edit our takes on Jameis Winston every week and edit them back and be like, "Oh, this is this, or this is that, or this is the other," that would be really great.
So
I
we were
would-
snubbed, just like we're essentially the sinners of the podcast world now. Like,
I wouldn't even.
we're right
put-
there with Michael B. Jordan.
I really would not put us there, because that means that either you or me are twins, or you and Pete are twins, and that's not something that I think we are ready for.
I feel like you might be your own brother, though, Alex. That's the thing. Like, I'm just saying. I've never seen you and Jill in the same place.
All right, here we are. Here we go. Is it kind of like when JJ McCarthy becomes 9?
Yes.
Yes. 100%.
Exactly like
It's the
that.
Jekyll and Hyde, McCarthy and 9 situation. Boy, we're off the rails. Pete, give us something. Bangerz Trash. Don't care. We're having a good time.
Do you know what? We've piled on the Panthers enough, so let's pile on them some more. I'm got to talk about the bangers of the Rams. Absolutely, and particularly Puka just smashed the Cardinals this week, and it was more important than you realize. Have you got that that playoff graphic?
The bracket.
Yeah, because by being the 5th, the Rams are arguably the best team in football. They have the number 1 offensive line and the number 2, one in rushing and 2 in rush block and 2 in pass block, I believe, as per PFF. Got a fantastic line. They've got a Hall of Fame level quarterback. They've got an MVP level quarterback and one of the best receivers in the game. Jack Smith and Jigba got all of the stats this year, all of the plaudits this year, and rightly so. But Puka's stats are nearly identical. They're really, really similar. So that team is great. And with a loss, they'd have been the 6th seed, and they've been facing the Eagles. Because they won, they're facing the Panthers. And given the teams that they could have faced, that's as close as a bye as you can get in that round there. They've got the easiest matchup in that round. And the best thing is, if they win, when they win, they'll be facing the Seahawks. They'll be facing the Seahawks. And who doesn't want a replay of that Rams-Seahawks?
I do, but I don't want to see mom and dad fight. I can't. It's too soon. It's too soon to see Seahawks Rams. That deserves to be the. I know you're a Bears fan, but that deserves to be for the division.
Yeah, it does. It should be the NFC Championship game in terms of they are the best 2 teams, I think. So yeah, it's going to be. They've deserved it this season, and I think they will continue to show out. And I think they needed their plaudits on a week that was reasonably lacking in tension. There's a lot of teams were playing, a lot of teams were playing their backups, but they were that meant more than it probably looked on paper, because that seeding is important,
especially in that specific division. That was the one that was the most topsy-turvy kind of thing. That was the one where the NFL kind of did the better job as well, because the NFL, we can agree, we can disagree. Personally, I think the NFL screwed us all in terms of the match times this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no like, oh, there's a touchdown in Los Angeles. How does that affect San Francisco? Oh my God! Like, there's no cross multiple game like jeopardy that is there. And the same could be said for the Bucks and the Panthers, which we've talked about the Panthers and the Bucks a lot already, so we won't. But
that should have been on at the same time as the Saints Falcons.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like 100%. Like it should have all. So like the Saints and the you are right. They should have both been there, and same with the Rams and the 49ers game. They should have also been on the same time as well. Any divisional game
of the annual shot of a team that has just won and is waiting for another game to finish, watching it on their own screen with all of their fans cheering for some other random like team that doesn't have anything to do with them. They stole that from us,
and they did it for a few extra bob because they sold some rights to ESPN.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Sorry, Pete, I interrupted your flow.
No, but I mean, I think I'd said what I needed to say. I think we might talk about MVP later. I don't know if that's something that you wanted to have a chat about, but I think there's two people in LA deserving of two of the big awards, and I don't think they'll get either.
Well, I mean, we may as well bring it up, Alex. It's in your bangers. Go on. Who's your MVP?
Well, personally, I agree with Pete that it should be Matt Stafford, but
Tom Brady agrees as well. By the way,
yeah, Tom Brady agrees with me. Of course, he does. He's the GOAT. What more would people want to say? Although, even though he's not been the GOAT, it's that. Can I just read you the last 10 years of the MVPs for me? Would that be okay?
Please.
This is important. I do say. I will also let you know where they finished in terms of seeding when they qualified for the playoffs.
Okay.
And you will notice a trend, and I hope you do, because this is there. If you've seen it, please do not spoil it for those that are watching. Hello to everyone that's watching. So in 2013, we had Peyton Manning. He was the number 1 seed. We had Aaron Rodgers in 14. He was the number 2 seed. We had Cam Newton in 15. He was the 1 seed. We already discussed him. We had Matt Ryan in 16. They were the 2 seed with them Falcons. Tom Brady in 2017. They were the 1 seed. Patrick Mahomes wins his first one. They were the 1 seed. Lamar Jackson, they were the 1 seed. Aaron Rodgers went back-to-back, was the 1 seed both times. Patrick Mahomes again in 22 was the 1 seed. Lamar Jackson in 23 was the 1 seed. And Josh Allen in 24, they were the 2 seed. So now the MVP race, we agree, comes down to either Matthew Stafford or to Drake May. Drake May is the 2 seed. Matthew Stafford is the 5 seed. It's going to be Drake May.
Both white QBs, so it's a tough call on this one, Alex. Yeah, Gav. I don't like that though. I don't like that. That's the stat.
There is logic there saying, well, we lifted our team more, and the Patriots are 2024. They were 3rd overall pick.
Yeah.
The Rams have been good for a long time. And
Strength of schedule, though, it also meant that they got an easier run this year than the Rams did. I don't know how people vote when they think about these things. Are they looking at stuff like that, or are they going with, the flashy? Hey, they were, the number 3 pick last year, and now look at them; they're the number 1 seed. They're literally like bottom to top. They spun that whole thing around by some good coaching decisions. I would love it to be Matt Stafford, but look, there's nothing against Drake May, but because I've enjoyed him to death, he's actually made me give a damn about the Patriots for maybe the first time ever, apart from when they were playing the Falcons in the Super Bowl. That's literally the only time I've rooted for the Patriots, and that's just because I'd had enough of them at that point. So yeah. I don't mind either way. I would rather it be Stafford, and has Stafford got another season in him? Probably not.
Yeah.
We didn't think he had it in him this year, so
I think Alexis has raised this point in the comments about the Pats haven't played against an elite defense team. I think their record is 1-2 against teams with a winning record.
That's correct.
Wins aren't a QB stat, wins are a coaching stat. But it's right, he's not been challenged in the same way that Stafford has against the likes of the Seahawks defense, which has been fantastic. And the Rams have had a tougher seeding and a tougher route there.
I've missed a lot of the comments on here. I just want to shout out Jeremy, you poor man, Panthers fan, and he's agreed that they've not been particularly great, but we spent a lot of time like bagging on the Panthers. Jeremy, I've been there for you from the start. I'm a Saints fan, but I was there. I'm cheering them on, so good on you.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation, more so than usual. I mean, I know it was last year was a bit controversial when you had Jackson v. Allen and people sat on either side of the fence there. Both are deserving. I'd like Stafford to get it because he's never won it and he deserves it for career numbers. Drake May's going to get another opportunity, I think, particularly in that division as well.
Yeah, that's right. And people in the comments, you kind of split. But yeah, I think a lot of people would probably rather see Stafford. It's that cool thing. I remember Stafford being drafted and Rich Eisen was like interviewing him and he was saying, oh, you know, you've just been drafted by the Detroit Lions. Like, how does that feel and stuff? It was like, I literally have $20 in my bank account right now. This is it. That's the last time that's ever going to happen. And that was God knows how many years ago now at this point. But to see him go from that all the way up to winning a Super Bowl and now being like in the MVP race and stuff, like I just love it. I don't think anybody has ever had a bad word to say about him. And when they moved him over to the Rams, it was like, Detroit, you fools. You clearly have made a mistake here. And rightfully so. So yeah, let's hope.
Yeah. Both teams will probably be happy with the quarterback that they've received.
Yeah,
definitely. Where is Jared Goff? I haven't seen him in like 6 weeks.
I saw too much of him on Sunday.
Pete's not deflecting the fact that like he just sees more of these guys than is there. Like I'm now imagining Jared Goff just in like a mankini, just walking past Pete's bedroom door. Just like because that's how I saw too much of Jared Goff. What's going on here?
Just staring in through my window like Vecna.
Gotcha.
We've got Alexis out here as well. If they gave Coach of the Year to Vrabel, then I know the NFL is rigged. Should just go to the Jags head coach. Coach of the Year is an interesting one because Vrabel has taken a team from, the third overall pick all the way up to the number one. The Jags were almost the number one seed. If a couple of things that have gone slightly differently, and God, nobody saw that coming last year. They just looked middling and disappointing. I think that they have this like once every 6 years. There is like this weird resurgence of the Jags just to be like, hey, actually, we're a really good football team. And it just like tanks completely. So, a Coach of the Year is a difficult one for me. I do think that you can't look past what Vrabel has done in a not even short space of time, but no time at all.
I've got a horse in this race.
Do you? I wonder who it could be.
I'm going to ignore that. But we won't go into that now. We'll go into that now, not after a loss. But I think Liam Cohen, the other thing with Liam Cohen is they made a big move this offseason as well to bring in Travis Hunter. And that was like their big move. Traded picks. And he didn't do anything. He didn't make an impact and had an injury. but they've done phenomenally off the strength of that defense as well. He's been great. Trevor Lawrence has put up career numbers. He's got the most dropped for yards for like dropped passes. He is so far ahead of everybody else on that team. So many missed opportunities by receivers dropping passes. The defense has been elite. I think Cohen probably deserves it overall, but I also think you need to look at Mike McDonald at the Seahawks. I think you can't ignore him for this conversation. People seem to be, and it's ludicrous that he's done that with Sam Darnold.
And that team itself was in a rebuild. Everybody said it at the beginning of the year. It was a rebuilding year for the Seahawks. Sam Darnold's a stopgap quarterback, and if he could just be okay, and what it was at Minnesota, they'll be lucky to make the playoffs. Wow, they're the 1 seed. Mike McDonald really needs to be in the conversation.
Yeah, that defense has been
totally
superb.
Yeah, I'm right there. It's the usually know more than anybody that I had the Seahawks at like very few wins because I just assumed they were rebuilding. I had 3 going from that division. They were not one of them. And I like him. I like him a lot. I've never had a bad word to say about the Seahawks. And I'm agreeing with Alexis here that Seahawks-Jags would be a phenomenal Super Bowl to watch because, if nothing else, incredible color schemes. Like, just, if you can, chuck them both in the throwbacks. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. What are you going to do then?
It'd be lovely. It would be really, really lovely. And I think it'd be fantastic because both quarterbacks can put up elite play and both can absolutely poop the bed.
Yeah.
I was editing myself there. And against that possibility from both quarterbacks, both 2 fantastic defenses could be electric. It could make such a twisty, turny game that you never want to kind of give up.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into like the games a little bit later. We've got a brief topic of the week that I wanted to like bring up. Do we have any other bangers or trash? Just have a quick chat before we move on.
I had wanted one, and I'm not going to talk too much about the Bears, but I have to every single week. But I'm going to pivot very briefly off that. The Bears' offense was awful this week. Goff demolished the Bears, absolutely battered them, but only got 1 touchdown and interception because he couldn't finish in the end zone. But the Bears' offense was horrible, and Ben Johnson laid into them. He was like, we're playing with our starters. We're going out there to win. And they were rubbish until the last quarter when it turned on, with the exception of Colston Loveland. And the reason I bring this up, it's only a relatively minor point given the context of the week, is I saw a stat, I think PFF retweeted it. They said in the last 20 years, only 7 rookie tight ends have hit 700 yards or more in 20 years. 3 of them were this season.
Gosh.
So you had Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, and Harold Fanning for the Browns. And Gadsden was at about 684, so he nearly hit it as well. He was really, really close. And you've seen, we talked about at the beginning of the season, this culture shift. We said that defenses have moved to stop the pass because of Mahomes, and it stopped the Chiefs. So teams are leaning way more into the run. And you're seeing that pivot to this run-heavy games. And these teams that people talk about being good have got a really run-heavy game. Seahawks, JSN is the first person in history to get the chat. He was the first wide receiver in history to get the passing yard record with a team that was bottom 3 in pass rate, because teams are running way more. And a lot of that, the reason they're having running success and the reason they're leaning into that is because you're seeing way more 12 and 13 personnel. You're seeing more tight ends coming in, and that gives those mismatches. So you can see those tight ends breaking out. You've seen it with Warren all year. You've certainly seen it with Loveland the back end of the season. His stats for this week were ludicrous. I mean, he was 10 of 13. So he had 10 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown. He should have had 11. He had quite a bad drop in there. but really, really good. Really good. And I mean, that entire class has been fantastic. But you think a little bit more like the normal Bears offense, and they walked that game against the Lions. It was a really strange one.
Well, luckily, Luke, this adorable dog here, who credit to you for being able to type, Luke the dog, is saying that the Bears going to the Super Bowl, and also chat's popping off. We've got a mix between the Packers, the Kryptonite to the Seahawks, and Alexis is saying not good to the Packers record this year. Everybody's at it, like the Packers Seahawks going for it. I love playoff football because that's when fandom just starts to really go for it. It's fantastic, and absolutely JSN Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. So
What?
Do you think it's going to go to the other quarterback? You think it's going to go to whoever get out of May and Josh?
Don't do that.
You see, I think it'll either be that or they might give it to Puka.
I don't think they will.
So if they go Drake May, I could see them giving it Puka.
Okay, yeah.
But if they go Stafford, I could see them giving it JSN. So they go, oh yeah, the Rams, by the way, you did have an elite level quarterback, but here, let's celebrate your elite level wide receiver instead. And then if they give it to the right one, jeez Louise.
Alex on Alex violence popping off in the chat. It's supposed to be one. You're just dead
your
wrong.
Evil twin Alexis is
I'm enjoying that very much. I just stopped him in his tracks completely. I'm going to leave it there. Let's bang on to what even is next. I'm doing a little topic of the week. Topic of the week. This is just going to be a brief one before we start talking about the actual playoff games and stuff this week. But I just wanted to go over what early, younger, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, first-time podcasters Alex, Pete, and Joel said was going to pop off this season, and how right and wrong we might have been on a few of them. So I'll put a couple in here. I think Alex has listed a few out as well. Episode 3's topic of the week was: will there be another Washington, air quotes, this season, a team that goes from being poor last season to a playoff run? We all crushed it. Absolutely. We just 100% there. Pete, you picked the Jags and the Bengals and the Broncos with a question mark on the Broncos. I don't know what that was there for.
They weren't that bad last year. So can I justify putting them as worst to best? But I knew they were going to be.
Fair enough. Alex, Patriots, Titans, Falcons. I mean, look, you picked the number 1 seed. You took the Patriots when, a few people were saying that they were going to make it. But, 100%. Well, not 100%, 33%. But hell of a call there. I picked Panthers based on division alone is why I picked them. And clearly, that is exactly why. I did pick the New York Giants. I think I was probably just a year too soon. They had to start Russ for a few weeks, and then obviously injuries and and the other was the Niners, and I put, quote, seems weird to say, but they were last in the NFC West last year. Let's just not forget that. And I was shocked to find that they were last year, and that we'd. So then I was like, yeah, they're gonna make it up there into the playoffs this time around.
We know as early as late as last week.
Yeah, it was crazy. How many different teams had the opportunity to be that high up there? Even like obviously the Bears end up being with the number 2, but there was a point where they could have been 1-7-2. God only knows. The past couple of weeks has been all over. Like the NFC is clearly the more interesting of the 2 divisions because like all sorts can happen. Yeah, you can quit your hand waving. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. On episode 4, back on the 3rd of September. So this is just as it was like the Tuesday before the season began. The question was, who will be a week 1 overreaction, hype, concern, or washout? Alex had that there'll be hype behind the Giants because they're going to get a road win versus Washington.
They did.
They did, and there was, and then that train like faded pretty quickly. There would be concern, still on Alex. There would be concern over the LA Rams because they would be beaten emphatically by the Texans. And we've been saying, is Stafford okay all off season? It turns out he isn't.
Couple of weeks ago, there was more rumblings that his back was bad when Puka went off the rails and decided to go on a podcast and be I don't know 22 or however old Puka is. There was rumblings that his back might be like acting up again and he might not be able to play the next couple of weeks. But no, just give him the MVP and make me done.
It's gone from you saying this year clearly he's the MVP, but at the beginning of the season you were like, it turns out that he just doesn't have it. Like, I'm okay with like switching it around. We had a whole segment where we could jump on and off bandwagons. I'm keeping that one, by the way. We're just gonna keep that going. And the other one is washed by Alex. The team that is washed will be the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers. Need I say more? And also today you have said how great Aaron Rodgers has been, that you stopped us in our tracks to tell us how good he was being. So that was, you can't write this stuff. It's incredible. I'm going to jump on me. I said the hype will be behind Denver, and that hype will be just, though. They will go 15-2 and be the number 1 seed in the, they'll be number 1 in the AFC West. I didn't say number 1 seed. I didn't get that ballsy. I said there would be concern over Kansas City. There wasn't really after week 1, but eventually that did end up happening. And I said that people will say that Dallas are washed out, which is incorrect because they did lose week 1, but they looked awesome. They ended up being washed pretty quickly, but I wasn't right on week 1 overreactions and whatnot. And then on to Pete. I love this. This might be my favorite. The hype will be behind the Cardinals. They'll put on a clinic in New Orleans and look like world beaters. Before that happens every week.
I meant before everybody puts a clinic on the Saints, because I thought the Saints were going to be much worse than they are. Not that the Cardinals are going to keep doing it.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. You said there would be concern on the Lions, who would lose to the Packers. And there is lots of wailing and gnashing of teeth that the Lions have lost too much. They did. You were absolutely correct. And washed. The Falcons lose to the Bucks, but it's just a tough matchup. I think Atlanta will be good. They're not.
No. No, they are distinctly mediocre.
Yeah, they are joint first in the NFC South. They are the not even the tallest midget at this point. They're like third tallest midget. They're right there. They're just like pipped at the post. But hey, as Alex said, if they'd have beat the New York Jets, they would be a playoff team. But they couldn't beat the New York Jets, so they are not a playoff team. That is the measuring stick that we have for playoff teams.
It was them and 2 other teams, everybody. 2 other teams lost to this Jets team as well as the Falcons.
Have you found out who they are yet?
No, I haven't even Googled it, to be honest with you. I'll find out for you now.
Okay. I don't have a very good sporting memory, but Alexis is saying what happened on week 9 to the Commanders. I need a reminder. Does anyone remember week 9 of the Commanders?
Is that the return fixture? It's when the Seahawks battered the Commanders.
That's right, yeah.
Fair enough.
When the other 2 Jets wins were the Bengals in a 39-38 victory, because we remember that happened. And the Jets beat the Browns as well.
God, the Jets beating the Bengals with all those points convinced so many fancy football people to pick up Justin Fields and start him, didn't they, Pete?
Yeah, they did. They did.
God, I love Memory Lane. This might be my favorite segment we've ever done.
I have such a weakness for running quarterbacks because when they're good, they're very good. But when they're bad, you trade Saquon Barkley in a first for Trey Lance, and which is what happened in one of my leagues. So yeah,
Incredible.
yeah, and then you get that happens. Yeah, Fields on a good week is amazing. Fields on a normal week is not. He's distinctly single figures in fantasy. Oh,
Alex,
goodness.
hit me up. You put some in the Wayback Machine. What have you got on your list?
Yeah, in the preseason, somebody on this podcast, I won't name him, said that Sean McVay and Sean Payton would lose their jobs. I don't know who said that, but yeah,
Could have been anyone. Could have been Pete. Probably Pete.
Wasn't me. It was definitely not me.
I loved his confused face where he's like, "Wait, did I say that?"
I just hate people called Sean.
Yeah,
we're just gonna gaslight him.
All Sean.
Sean's are out this season.
We did. All of us on the podcast did say that the sack record would get broken this season. So well done, all of us. None of us said it would be Myles Garrett that would do it. Pete, you, both me and you backed the Bengals defensive player Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah,
because he's in a contract year and like he's all of that. But yeah, we also, as a podcast, called the Patriots Meteoric Rise. John, in that one, mid preseason, Pete, when you were backing up Drake May, you went on a 5-minute spiel about how great Drake May is fundamentally as a quarterback, which is absolutely true. And we also had a 20-minute discussion about teams that haven't won the Super Bowl in this millennium. And there are 5 of them in the playoffs, and 2 of them are number 1 seeds.
That's not right.
2 of them are 2 of them are number 2 seeds. I apologize. So, okay. Obviously the Jaguars are the number 2 seed.
I'd like to chuck out a little which team won't make the playoffs that did make the playoffs last season that we discussed in episode 4. Alex, you picked 4 teams that weren't going to make the playoffs. Started off well, the Vikings. Okay, nailed it. Chargers, Steelers, Rams.
Nice.
Yeah, who gave this man a podcast? We didn't know it was week 4.
In my defense, I blame Tyler Loop and Geno Smith.
Well, it was probably Geno Smith's fault. For anybody who doesn't know, Geno Smith has said that we can blame him for everything. So here we go. I said I picked 5 teams out of last year's playoff teams that weren't going to make it. I also picked the Vikings. Nailed it. I picked the Chargers. Not so great. I also picked the Lions because I was the only one that was calling the Lions drop off. Another thing that I won't shut up about at some point. I also picked the Texans that I was very wrong about, and the Buccaneers, which I almost was wrong. But yeah, didn't do too bad there. Pete, you picked the Vikings. None of us had any faith in 9 to do what Sam Darnold could do. You also picked the Packers, Steelers, and Rams to not make the playoffs as well there, Pete. So
yeah, but that was the weird one where I said before, I think the Packers are going to be the 1 seed. And then I went through and picked every single game, and they somehow ended up being the 8th seed. I was like, I don't know how
your bias was showing when you were picking all the games. You're like, nah, Green Bay can't win there. Not on a rainy day in Stoke. Absolutely not. We're not having any of that.
I love it when you use football references. I actually really
do. Because I don't know what they mean.
I really do. I love it so much. I love it so much when you even mention a rainy away day in Stoke, and it brings me such joy, Joel. It really does.
All right, let's talk about the games this week and the thing that everyone's really tuned in for. The 2025 inaugural Pick'em and Flick'em champion is also to be announced at this point. So we're going to have a little chat about some of the games that are coming up this weekend, how we did on our predictions last weekend, the overall stuff, and which of the three of us was the best at predicting things on this podcast. And would you believe it? Out of absolute obscurity, Pete Melia is the best at predicting things on this podcast.
To paraphrase Ben Johnson, we'll be
Runs.
picking our best football in December.
The football season really starts after Thanksgiving. That's Pete's motto.
That's it. Yeah. I'm saving it for the cup. So out of nowhere, you ended up being tied third out of everybody. You were only 1 point away from tied second, which was your friend of mine, James Varley. And can we just firstly talk about the historic downfall of S Black 74, who was holding it for the entire season? God bless you. Miss Congeniality tumbled all the way down to being tied ninth with 168, but holding it for the past 4 weeks ish was Raider Butts, who I'm pretty certain he keeps kicking my butt in fantasy. I'm certain I'm in a league with him, or them, or her. They're there somewhere. So yes, Raider Butts. Shout out to you. You have won the Pick'em and Flick'em. Drop me a DM or something, and I will get Merv to pay for something kind of prize. Costs nothing to enter. Everybody's welcome. It all comes out of Merv's pocket. We don't care.
He doesn't even know that he's buying anything yet.
I think he heard about it in week 1. I got a message from him that just said, "Oh, I put my hand in my pocket." I said, "Yes, it's your fault for giving me a podcast." It's the least he could do. So yeah, God, what a cool thing. I've never picked an entire season before, so I thoroughly enjoyed doing that, and getting right up there with 169 to 103. I ended up tied 6th place. There was 3 people in 3rd. There was 3 people in 6th, and then if I keep scrolling, there he is, Alex down in 11th place. Knocked himself out the top 10 with 166 to 106. Still pretty close. But yeah, so Alex, you started at the bottom. Now you're here at the bottom.
All I will say in my defense is, because I haven't really got one, I will blame the Broncos. Because as of my irrational and pure hatred for that organization, which is completely understandable, I picked against them every week, only for them to go on an 11-winning game streak.
Yeah, that cost you. That would have, if you'd have picked the Broncos every single week, you'd have ended up with 177 and been a clear winner of the whole thing. But no, I would like to credit my success to the Bears, because regardless of whether they were good or bad, Pete gaslit me into thinking that they were going to win, and they did give me 11 points. So I think it was only 11 points. I might have picked against them here and there, but
I think the Bears are the MVP of our season. Like, and I blame Pete for this. Pete has successfully made us all kind of somewhat Bears fans.
Yeah. I will.
And ironically,
I will be cheering them on.
My own Bears trauma is probably the reason I'm not first overall and won this competition, because of the amount of times I picked against them incorrectly.
Yeah.
My record for picking against the Bears has been so bad this year.
Just pick them every week. It seemed to work wonders for me. I just want to give one shout out to the last brave soul of the season, your friend and mine, May Blackburn. He picked his Cleveland Browns to beat the Cincinnati Bengals in the last week of the season, and nobody else did. So well done there, just for really putting yourself out there and getting that one extra point on the rest of us. But yeah, so that was the Pick'em and Flick'em. I will miss it. I don't think there is such a thing for the playoffs. I probably should have set up some kind of like quick playoff game for everybody to jump on board with, but I did not have time. Maybe this time. do want to talk about now, though, is the thing that probably most podcasts would have spent most of their time talking about, and that would be the actual games that are going to be played in this week, the playoff weekend that is coming up. I mean, Pete, you said earlier, like we still like pick a couple each to kind of focus on next week. I don't have the capacity to be an expert on 2 games, so I'm thinking we pick one each. I'm gonna let you both pick first out of the ones that you want to like truly follow, and then I'll just pick up the scraps at the end because I can pretty guess where we might fall on this. Alex, I'm gonna let you pick first.
Oh, really? Oh my god!
Opportunity to do the funniest thing.
I'm going to pick one northern-based team that we've all thought in our hearts and all wanted to do, and I'm even wearing their colours.
Very nice.
Like,
very nice.
all I need on my head is a big old block of cheese. No, I'm joking. I'm not that mean. I am going to stay. I am going to absolutely go well away from the Chargers Patriots. I'm not even going to touch that game. And I am going to look at the 49ers Eagles because I want the 49ers to just step on their necks and just twist with their heel and kill the Eagles. I don't want that whatsoever. I want
Out
the
of
49ers
everybody in the playoffs, the Eagles are the only ones I do not want to make it any further.
Yeah.
AFC, NFC, don't care. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, fine. The Patriots being back, fine. I have something against the Eagles. I just don't want to see it. Any of these other teams can win it for me, and I'll be a happy soul.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the 49ers. And the 49ers are wanting revenge, man, because they looked awful this weekend. They did not look good whatsoever. And they've had Eagles first round exit, 100%. Give me it. Give me it. But Ricky Pearsall should be back, as well as another couple of their linemen that should be there. So they'll have more weapons. The question really is which side turns up. And obviously, they've got to go away as well. They've got to go to Philly. So that'll be fun.
9:30 on Sunday as well. So last reasonable game of the weekend to stay and watch unless you're a madman and want to stay awake for the Chargers. Oh yeah, that's a good reason not to pick the Chargers game. Chargers New England are the 1 a.m. On Monday, and then Sunday night, whatever. So yeah, that's a pretty decent slot. End of the weekend, you'll be all hyped up, ready for that. And yeah, let's just hope that the Niners get their way through that. Pete, do you want to pick next, or do you want to let me pick one?
I have absolutely zero trust in you, Joel. I am going to defy all expectation and pick the Bears-Packers game.
At 1 a.m. on Sunday.
I've got a few friends coming around for a games night on Saturday, and it'll be a very firm, right, piss off, the game's about to start. Go home.
Wow, you people go hard on your like games night. You're like, at 1 a.m. I have to kick people out.
Yeah, generally. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely Bears-Packers game. I am living for this game. They're the worst team to pick, I think, outside of the Panthers. Right now, Rams or Niners, or I think even the Eagles, are more dangerous against the Bears. But the last thing you want is to lose to the Packers. It can't go all of this season, get the 2 overall seed, and then lose to the Packers in the first round, because they will not shut up about it. And if I was a Bears fan, it was the other way around, I wouldn't shut up about it either. So, I completely understand that. I am scared of this game. I'm terrified of this game. But I can't wait. It's Bears in playoffs. Whatever happens, happens. I'm so pumped.
Is Jordan Love back?
Yes.
Ah, good.
Yeah. I mean, Willis torched the Bears last time, so I don't think it's necessarily an upgrade. Go on,
Yeah,
pick
thank goodness Willis isn't playing. Woo-hoo!
Yeah. So, go on, pick it. Who do you think's winning it?
The Bears.
It's head and heart, mate, and also
It's the
wallet because I have
Bears.
money on. I've got money on Green Bay to win the NFC. The NFC. So like, would I like to win the £4.50, Pete? You bet your fine ass I would. Would I like to win that over seeing the essentially the team of the podcast? No, I think I would like to see your little face happy, and I don't think I could spend 30 minutes watching you crash out on the pod next week. So yeah, let's. I want to see the Bears do it. I am a little worried because it is still the Green Bay Packers, even though they are beat up and everything. There's just a little something, but yeah, give me the Bears in that one.
Word of advice. The only word of advice is if you decide to skip this game, which I might, because it's like 1 a.m. on a Sunday. But like if we decide to skip this game and go to bed, make sure you put your phone on Do Not Disturb, because Pete's gonna blow that chat up if it goes the wrong way.
Just blow it up anyway, and all I'll look is at how many messages I've got on Sunday morning, and I'll be like, "Ooh, it was a good one."
It'll be the chat equivalent of Stewie bouncing around the car because he's going to Disney World.
That's it. Yeah, it could go either way.
I think the Bears. I think the Packers are going to win, but I want the Bears to win, and that's just like emotionally protecting myself.
Yeah.
It's like going into a consultation for redundancy, and you think, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to lose my job. So then if you don't and you just keep your shit job, then it's a win.
We've got Angel. I'm going to go Jimenez just because I can. Bears going to win. Eagles going to lose. Panthers win. It's like you are the soul of this podcast. These are three things that between us, Pete would like the Bears to win. Alex would like the Eagles to lose. I would like the Panthers to win. So I very much appreciate that one. Maybe a real angel has stepped in to grace us with thoughts from the future. Nobody's asked me, but I guess I'll give the game that I was going to pick. I'm stuck now because I have like no skin in the game on here. I would love to say Rams Panthers would be the one that I would like to focus on. Love them both. I just don't think that I can. It's one of those where you kind of like you've got to watch through your like hands. So I'm worried about the Panthers just getting absolutely smushed. Out of all of this, the one that I am pleased to announce that I'll be keeping an eye on is I'm going Buffalo versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That'd be my second choice.
I love the Jags. I think they're very nice colors. I appreciate that they are essentially the London team. I've watched them a bunch. I jumped on the bandwagon halfway through the season when we said we were allowed to. And I fell in love with the Buffalo Bills, as you all know, during Hard Knocks. And I haven't brought it up a lot since because it felt too easy to enjoy watching the Bills this season. So that is a win-win for me. And it's very rare in the playoffs that I've not got, I would a one-sided kind of thing. So we're all winners in that. And I would like the winner of that game to go all the way to the end and be in the Super Bowl. I like the Broncos a lot, but Jags and the Bills, man, there's just it'd be beautiful. I would love to see the Bills have got a great story because they can finally like get to and possibly win a Super. Well, they've got to them, but they could possibly win a Super Bowl for once. And the Jags being such a young franchise in the grand scheme of things to kind of finally do that. Because I don't think any of the expansion teams around about that time have. Because it's like Panthers, Texans, Jags, and somebody else I can't remember all appeared out of nowhere at that time. It's probably the Browns, actually. That was 2000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Panthers
it'd
have
be
been
great.
before, haven't they? But they've not won it.
That's it. It's been Jags were like 95, I think, 95, 96. Panthers were around about that same time. So yeah, that'd be great. You see here we've got the Broncos versus Patriots in the AFC. I like it. I do. It's great, but it's, I don't know. There's a little bit of it that's kind of boring. It feels like the Brady Manning that we never really like got. It's like Saved by the Bell, the new class. Like, I'm sure they were talented, but they weren't like Zach and everybody, were they? Sorry, Alex. Saved by the Bell was this TV show.
I know what Saved by the Bell is. Yeah, I know what Saved by the Bell is. Thanks, man.
He grew up on the new class.
Thanks,
He did.
man.
He loved the new class. This guy. He liked when the Rugrats could walk and talk. Yeah.
Hey, All Grown Up was a really good show. Don't even at All Grown Up, man. All Grown Up was a really good show. Don't even start that. The Rugrats Meet the Wild Thornberrys movie, great movie, man. Like, what are we? That
MCU took everything from that, didn't they? The crossover, yeah.
And I am ashamed, but also proud to admit that was the first time I heard "Should I Stay or Should I Go?"
Wow.
I think I had it on vinyl.
Bearing in mind, I was like 9, so like that was like I was like I think I showed it to my parents. I was like, "What's this amazing song?" And my dad was like, "Son, I have something to show you." And then like 3 hours passed, and I just got random rock music that stuck in my head for like ever. So
incredible. I suppose we didn't really pick it for Alex, but who've you got in mind? Is it Jags? Is it Bills? Oh, silence. Good radio, guys. Good radio.
My take on this is if Josh Allen's got one more Superman game in him this season. If it's this week, they get through. But I think more likely it's the Jags, and I think it ends up being an all AFC South AFC Championship game.
Wow. Okay.
And I think we get Jags versus Texans in an absolute barnstormer. In that, because I think the Patriots are going to beat the Chargers handily. I think they'll just demolish that line. I just don't think that line's going to stack up, the 32nd ranked line in football because of all the injuries. And then I think the Jags defense will be too much for Drake May. I think it will be, that's where he gets exposed. So I think the Jags, if Josh Allen doesn't turn up, they'll go all the way to the championship game. And I've said for weeks that it's going to be Texans v Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have, to be fair. Just a quick one. Big Z. What upsets do you see happening? Are there any? I guess the Jags is kind of the underdog, or are they? Like, I didn't see the odds on which or the other one.
The underdogs this week are the Steelers. They're the underdogs against the Texans.
No,
the Panthers are obviously the underdogs against the Rams. The 49ers are the underdogs against the Eagles. And the Packers and Chargers are the underdogs against their respective teams. Gone to Vegas because of the home field advantages.
Oh, Packers, that line's changed then because the Packers were 1 point favourites, like 1.5 point favourites when the betting opened. So that line's moved. Probably just a lot of excitable Bears fans are just changing that line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess out of all of that, and we'll get around to Alex's game anyway, I think the Niners is the upset of the weekend. Knockout. They don't call themselves the reigning champions. They're just the Eagles. But yeah, to knock them out, I think the Niners, now they're fit and healthy. That's the underdog of the week for me.
Do you know what? And what would you rather have? The replay of Bears 49ers, that game from a couple of weeks back, or that god awful replay of Packers versus Eagles? Nobody wants that.
No one wants that.
They play off football.
No, thank you.
So, yeah, come on, 49ers. I got a lot of time for that team and for that coach. The eternal bridesmaid.
And also, the Eagles have been really boring this season.
Yeah.
Really boring.
Super dull.
Did they say that they wanted to not be called the defending champions? They just wanted to be called the Eagles.
Yeah, they said it at the beginning of the season.
Stupid.
It is so stupid. In interviews, it was like, so you're the defending champions. And they were like, no, we're not the defending champions. We won it last year. This year isn't that. We're not defending a title. We're a different team. It's a different mindset. It was real Jalen Hurts talking nonsense.
I really think that Kevin Stefanski had everybody in a meeting room and went, right, this is how we're going to approach it, folks. We're going to do it this way. And everybody bought into it because he is basically a self-help guru. And I don't think he's a good coach at all.
Go Niners.
Go Niners, everybody. Up the Niners.
So, all right, let's go around the horn. Let's pick the rest of the games. Texans, Steelers, who we got?
Texans.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that defense is just been phenomenal. CJ Stroud is finally in mid-season form at the end of the year. It's just the Texans are more fun to watch, and the downfall of Aaron Rodgers is something that I've been looking forward to. We've already talked about Bills, Jags, Chargers, Patriots. I think that's going to be closer than what you expect. Alexis here is the anti-Alex and is saying that the Chargers are probably going to take that one. Alex, not known to be a backer of the Chargers, a fan of, but doesn't believe in them. So that could be the upset in the AFC. I would have liked to have been able to watch that game. I'll do the 40-minute highlight the following day. I just think that would have been. I'd rather watch the others, everything else that's set up, because the 1 a.m. ones. I mean, look, I would love to have watched the Bears game, but Chargers, New England, too late. Houston, Pittsburgh, too late. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. On the other side, Rams, Panthers. Anyone want to? No.
10.5-point favorites, the Rams.
Yeesh.
Wow.
10.5 points in the playoffs. It's bonkers, isn't it?
Wow.
Oof.
Do you just give Stafford a bye week? Do you just say to Matt, like, take a seat? Who's the backup of the Rams? I'm joking.
Bennett, is it still?
I couldn't tell you. But, like, yeah, right. They'll absolutely batter them. Let's not get it twisted. They'll batter them.
Yeah, Matt Stafford's back isn't going to take a lot of strain, is it? In this one, he's going to be okay for the following week. Niners, Eagles. I'm picking the Niners. I'm just going. I believe that's the way that's going to go. I know we all want that, but does anybody think it'd go the other way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take clock. I'm just, because I said it early enough that Texans and Eagles was going to be that Super Bowl, I'm going to keep saying it until I'm proven wrong, because then if they win, I can be really smug. I so want the 49ers to win because I like them, but I think we saw that Purdy can be stopped with a really good, when he's playing anybody decent in defense. And I think the Eagles will be too much. I think they'll just ball their way through it.
Yeah. I can see it. I don't want to believe it. I would rather believe in hope and the Niners to keep the historic run of staying in their own stadium as long as possible and keep those wins coming. But yeah, like, you can't really discount boring Philly. They're just 1-0 part of the bus, aren't they? So quite possible. There you go, Alex. You like that? Yeah,
I did like that one.
Yeah,
actually.
Chelsea about 10 years ago. Yeah, I remember.
I did like that. If you could name who their manager was, then I'll pick whatever you want for the rest of the episode.
Oh, come on. You know this one.
He was really special.
You know this one.
I do know this. My dad's a Chelsea fan to an extent. No, all I can think is Pep Guardiola, and that's not correct.
No,
It is not. It was.
Jose Mourinho.
Jose Mourinho. That was his name.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
And then finally, Packers Bears. Genuinely think the Bears. I am just as scared as Pete, if not more scared, because I backed them more this season. The Chicago Bears. Technically, I'm more invested in the Bears this year than you are, Pete. So I'm worried about all of the time that I've spent rooting for this team. I picked them every single week in Pick'em. I checked every single week. So let's keep the good times going, boys.
Yeah, and I think they're healthier than they've been all season. CJ Gardner-Johnson's in concussion protocol, but Kyler Gordon, I love Spider-Man. He should be back this week as well, so they should be healthy. Finally,
Getting a lot of Packers love here. Alexis and Bexy's both pick the Packers as well.
I know they're agreeing with me, but I don't like them for doing it. I need faith. I need your confidence just to make me feel good about this.
So
That's it.
for us as a podcast, and I will speak for the other two, to everybody that's watching, we 100% are backing the Bears simply because we want this for Pete. They've had such an absolute train wreck over the last couple of years, and they've really not been very good. So the first time that they are actually good, we want this to go all the way. And they quite possibly could do, because we also really like Ben Johnson. So that's the reason for us. And also, the Packers have been somewhat tainted, because as soon as Aaron Rodgers left, he let his freak flag fly.
But to play devil's advocate, Tuesday's show, I'm watching Pete just like disheveled. He hasn't shaved in like 2 days. He hasn't slept in 48 hours. You know, his tie's ajar. His wife's left him.
All
A
I'm
silent
thinking,
1,000-yard stare is not good audio.
all I'm thinking is, you know, the Charlie Day meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where like there's like multiple things over the wall. That's going to be Pete, and he's going to have a 20 slideshow of how the Bears lost that game.
I genuinely think it's going to be more like potato in a hole, and I'll be like Joe Wilkinson,
Yes.
potato in a hole. And if anybody that's watching this has not seen that, as soon as it's finished, because you're on YouTube, just type potato in a hole and watch, and it'll be the greatest thing you watch apart from this podcast all week.
Incredible. Wow. Just pulled that reference out of nowhere. He looks like you too as well, so that helps.
Thanks. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, coming from Hector and the long lost Weasley, I think you're doing okay. All right.
Thanks, Scorpio.
Yes. I need to.
The Hank Scorpio one is such a callback as well. I think that was like week 3.
It was, yeah. I forgot about Hank Scorpio. I look forward to the clip show. You know, like they used to do on like the Fresh Prince when they needed to just get like one filler episode where we just play clips of the previous. Any closing thoughts on this, the finest Tuesday of the year?
Yes. This season has gone way too fast, but I cannot wait for these playoffs.
That's going to be incredible.
It's my favorite type of football. It literally goes playoffs, Super Bowl, regular season. I find the playoffs just the best. I've got a nice bottle of tequila. That'll probably not make it through the weekend. Just absolutely sit, be able to focus on one thing, put the phone down, get rid of some of the brain rot, and just watch one thing. Red Zone, you know, I did shed a tear slightly, it being the last one of the year. It's not going to be back until September, but it really does ruin my attention span for some stuff. So being able to just sit and focus on one game, there is nothing quite like it. And then to have back-to-back games, it's where I fell in love with Larry Fitzgerald, and I will always be grateful for the playoffs for giving me that gift. Soon to be Hall of Famer, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes. Absolutely.
Alex, got anything for me?
Remember, even if your team is not in the playoffs because they suck, pick one, ride or die, and if they get knocked out the first round, maybe this game isn't for you.
Yeah.
I was going to say pick another one. If they get knocked out, jump on a different bandwagon and you keep going until the Super Bowl, and maybe eventually you'll get one right. Okay, cool outro phrase, everybody. I couldn't think of anything fun to do. I turn around and I have no idea what is going on here. Peace.